What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today. I can't believe I'm saying this, but also I can't believe Mike Trout is going to be missing a few weeks. I want to meet his left knee in a back alley and just talk. Or maybe throw hands. Javier Baez is having like the anti-Mike Trout season. He blasted away again, another home run. Then he robbed a home run? Luis Robert Jr. was worth 8 runs for the Chicago White Sox last night. You'll see later what I mean. Vladdy Jr., he is spraying home runs again, which is not great news for the rest of the American League East. And also, Varsho, he's back making web gems and hitting home runs. Paul Skenes has been let down big time by his front office. Wait until you guys hear just how bad their offseason additions have been. And one more offseason addition. The Rangers, they traded for Jake Berger. He just got sent down to AAA. That's how bad he's been. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB Recap. Recap is a series where we do exactly that. We recap every game every single day, so leave a like and subscribe if you're into that. And also, don't forget that Recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Save yourself 20 bucks off all your tickets using code Fuzzy. And you guys know the drill. Make sure to download Underdog Fantasy with my code because you'll get a free pick'em up to $1,000 in bonus cash. And they have a new game mode called Ladders, so make sure you guys check that out after you download with code Fuzzy. So we do have a big health update on Mike Trout, and it's not a good one. But before that, let's show the next Mike Trout. I'm talking about in terms of talent. Like Bobby Witt Jr.'s comparison has to be Mike Trout. Maybe he's the modern day A-Rod, and maybe Langford is Mike Trout because he's crazy and talented, but gets banged up a bit. Anyways, while I was yapping, Yandy, he lifted off for a first inning home run, his fourth. Bobby, thank you, Little League Ballpark. That's a home run in 2 of 30. You guys guessed it right. It's this one and Yankee Stadium. Bobby Witt Jr. is on a 22-game hitting streak. That opened the floodgates as Salvi, he pummeled an RBI 2-bagger that I thought was gone. He's 4 away from 300 doubles and 25 home runs away from 300 home runs. I don't know how many catchers have done that, but it's got to be rare company. Bobby, that's not the worst pitch in the world to get hit on with the bases loaded. 84 miles an hour still hurts. Vinny, he missed the barrel, but this is how baseball works. It still found some grass for 2 RBIs, and it happened again. Michael Garcia, he kind of got jammed, did not get a barrel on the ball, but he placed it perfectly. The Royals beat up the Rays 8-2. Seth Lugo, by the way, had no walks over 6. The Royals have won 9 of their last 10 as they sweep the Rays, and they held the Rays to 3 runs in 3 games. All right, here's the update. Mike Trout has officially landed on the IL with a bone bruise. I guess he did clarify that there's no structural damage and that it could have just been scar tissue breaking down, but yeah, that's the update. Mike Trout already in the year 2025 has hit the IL, and I hate saying already, but that's kind of just been the trend. He always ends up hurt, and I hate that for him. Now, at least the Angels won yesterday versus a tough Tigers team. Logan O'Hoppe, he might hit 40 home runs one day. He's got 9 already, and sure, Javier Baez, he went 410 feet for a home run, so he's got a home run back-to-back games. And yeah, Glaber went yard as well. He's always seen Yusei really well. That was the longest home run of anyone so far. Wait, Jorge Soler, he had his first of 2. Jorge Soler powered up for a go-ahead 2-run home run, and later in the 5th, he's going to add another one. This one's the deep... Javier Baez caught it. He's been really good out there. I'm not going to lie to you guys. His reads off the bat are impressive. He's just such a gifted baseball player. I know that might not sound right considering the last few years, but we know that El Mago in his prime, he's as good as it gets. Casey Mize couldn't believe that he caught it, so if I lied about Soler hitting 2 home runs, what else did I lie about? Well, Reed Detmers turned me into a liar about the Angels winning because he only got 1 out. Andy Ibanez and Zach McKinstry, they tied it. Dylan Dingler, the rookie catcher, he stepped up with a couple guys on, and dude, the Halos lost again. Dingler with the dinger. He's up to 4 home runs and 15 RBIs. Reed Detmers has allowed 9 runs with only 1 out over the last 2 games. Ibanez singled in another one, and Torkelson got the Tigers into double digits. Spencer's been ice cold as of late, but he still has 9 home runs and 26 RBIs. The Tigers are now 20-10. The Angels have lost 6 in a row. They're now 3-13 over their last 16 games. Please, blow it up. It's not working. We just saw Javier Baez rob a home run, and so did Luis Robert Jr., but this one would have been a grand slam. The pitcher, I don't know if you guys read his lips, but he said, "Thank the effing Lord, holy..." You know what? Love to see this, by the way. Luis saves 4, and then he drives in 1. Sean Burke, he was so good on the bump. It's not easy to put a lid on the Brewers' offense, but that's exactly what he did. He worked the top of the zone, which is kind of scary, but if you have the stuff and you trust it, like prime Lucas Giolito, he lived up in the zone, and it always worked for him until he just kind of fell off. But Burke goes 6 scoreless with 5 strikeouts. To the bottom of that frame, Chad Patrick, there goes his 1-run day. He gets relieved, and Miguel Vargas, the new and improved Miguel Vargas, has been reborn. The 25-year-old has an 8-game hit streak on his second home run. That new hand position and swing is working wonders. Luis, hello, he saved 4 and he drove in 4. It is a base clearing double. So he saves 4, drives in 4. He was worth like 8 runs that game. He's going to be a free agent next season. The White Sox, they're praying that this sticks because he's been bad to start this year. But if he keeps on clicking, they're going to be able to ship him out for a treasure chest of prospects. Going back to the Angels real quick, you know those old Angels Shohei Ohtani Tungsten O'Doyle tweets like Shohei went 4 for 4 with a couple home runs, pitching 7 scoreless, and the Angels lost 3-1. Yeah, Juan Soto kind of had a Tungsten O'Doyle game of his own. By the way, you're watching Zach Gallen literally go brazy. He went 5 scoreless with a ton of punch-outs. When Zach Gallen is on, there's not much that you can do. Unless you're an all-time great hitter like Juan Soto and you don't miss the one mistake pitch that you get all game. That's his first in Citi Field, so it's 2-1. The Diamondbacks, they got a few on some boring RBI outs. I'm not going to show it. Perdomo, this is not a boring RBI. He had 3 home runs in 98 games last year. He has 5 home runs in 31 games this year. Call him Juan Solo because he had 2 solo home runs the other way. You could tell that he was letting out some frustration. He was showing a lot more passion on the strut, and then the bat flip, he just looked angry. Kevin Ginkel, the Snakes reliever, he's in big time trouble. Vientos, he's been on fire. He's up with 2 in scoring position. He bailed out Ginkel. He chased on the slider. Nimmo, he had 9 RBIs a few days ago. He might have used up those RBIs for the next week or so because he was frozen for another strikeout to end the jam. I'm going to show rookie Tim Towel blasting out for his 5th home run. Shelby Miller, he tossed the perfect 9th for his first save. As the Diamondbacks improved to 17-14, the Mets still really good 21-11 after losing 2 in a row. But we just saw Tim Towel hit a home run, right? He's been playing a lot of second base in the absence of Ketel Marte. Obviously, Perdomo has shortstop on lock. Tim's hitting 190 though. So what are they going to do with Jordan Lawler? Like, Ketel's almost back. Since they called up Tim Tawa instead of Jordan Lawler is hitting .419 with 19 extra base hits, 25 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases in 21 games. For his career in AAA, Lawler is hitting .371 with 61 RBIs in 54 games. Again, Ketel's almost back. Tim Tawa, the power has been decent, but maybe the answer is actually shipping out Eugenio Suarez. So if he gets hot again, remember, he's a free agent after this year. Maybe you plug in Lawler at third base, something like that. I have no idea. So what do you think is going to happen when Ketel Marte comes back? Do you think that Tawa's going to get sent down? Maybe they're going to shuffle a few guys around. Jordan Lawler is playing like an all-time great in AAA. They have to make room for him soon, right? Now, I don't have the stats off the top of my head, and I don't have it on my script, but this has to be the first time in Paul Skenes' life that he gave up 3 home runs in 1 inning. Brian Reynolds, you just saw him drill a first-inning cannonball, and O'Neal Cruz, he laced an RBI double. So by every metric, I thought that this was going to be one of those cakewalk days, especially with Paul Skenes on the bump, but his command completely left him. He kept skating around damage like this base is loaded logjam in the third. Bush grounded into an inning-ending double play to bail out Skenes after he walked 3 straight guys. Now, his luck did run out at Chicago. They just said, we're going to start lifting the ball. Dansby now has 6 home runs on the season. Kyle Tucker, you can't really throw this to big league hitters because they can catch 96 down the middle. Tucker's up to 8 home runs. Seiya, the third of the inning. Designated hitter Seiya Suzuki is a force of nature. Later in the 7th, he did it again. This one's a 2-run home run to the 4th long ball of the day for the Cubs. This Cubs team can bury you in a hurry. Happ doubled in Swanson for an extra run. Michael Busch, he pushed it to an 8 spot with a 2-run base knock. The Cubs are 19-13. They've scored 192 runs, 15 more than any other team. They're also top 7 in starting pitching ERA. Their only bugaboo right now is their bullpen. Their bullpen almost has a 5 ERA. Before we move on, I just want to talk about the additions the Pirates made in the offseason after Paul Skenes turned in a historically insane rookie season, and they rewarded him by adding Tommy Pham to their roster, who's hitting 170 with a 30 OPS plus. Adam Frazier, oh my God, 233 batting average with a 66 OPS plus. So at least it's better than Tommy Pham. The Pirates are 12-20, so 8 games under 500 after that loss. It blows my mind that guys like Bob Nutting, Artie Moreno, the guy who owns the White Sox, I think his name is Reinsdorf or something like that. How have they been allowed to own teams for this long, just operating at a bottom of the barrel, pathetic level? Like, look at what happens when you actually come down on an owner and threaten essentially litigation. John Fisher of the A's was forced into spending more. They basically gave him his own salary floor, and the A's have taken a massive leap. Now, a lot of credit goes to their scouting department. Jacob Wilson was not a free agent. By the way, check out Adolis Garcia. He's back on defense. He looks great out there. The speed's also up as well. Soderstrom, he's another A's scouting find, and they kind of fix Miguel Andujar. Kinda. He's hitting .325 with a .360 on base. That was the only run allowed by Tyler Mahle. He was fantastic again. He goes 6 innings, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. He still owns a mind-bendingly tiny 1.19 ERA across 38 innings. Jeffrey Springs finally dialed in, but it's probably the weirdest way he's ever dominated a game. 6 scoreless, but that was the only strikeout of the game. He allows 3 base runners, 2 hits, and a walk. Jacob, that is an RBI single, a rocket past Marcus Semien. He's still hitting over .330. Remember, he's a rookie. The A's got 1 more on a sac fly, but we're going to fast forward to Miller time. Mason has 10 saves, 127 strikeouts, his last 77 innings. And see, the A's scouting has always been really, really good. And now that they added a few trades, they spent a lot of money. They're now 17-15, which is nothing like earth-shattering, but they won 5 of 7 versus the Rangers. When you add great scouting to money, good things happen. Staying with the Rangers, one more Texas story. So we know that they traded for Jake Burger in the offseason. They just sent him down to AAA, and honestly, he kind of deserved it because he has one of the worst plate approaches I've ever seen, especially this year. He's only walking 2.8% of the time and striking out basically 30% of the time. He's always been a second-half warrior, though. He has a .229 batting average and a .708 OPS in the first half throughout his career. In the second half, he's almost hitting .280 with an .870 OPS, so it takes him some time. I don't know why they're sending him down to get a reset because his reset is just grinding through it. You guys are about to see Big Christmas hit one of the most impressive home runs I've seen in a while. But first, Kyle Manzardo, he ripped an RBI single. He has 20 RBIs on the season, and this swing should have counted for 20 runs. Jhonkensy Noel went 3/4 up the bleachers. He hit that baseball 115.3 miles an hour and 450 feet. Now the Twins, they swung their way back into it in the 7th as Vasquez and Correa, they both singled in a run, and this ended up being your average Twins and Guardians game because there was a long rain delay. I have no idea why MLB doesn't force Cleveland to build a roof because they get rained out 20, 30 times a year, it seems like. We got a rain delay. Durant is stressing out his own fans, and he gets out of it with the bases out to strike out to force extras. The Twins, they take the lead only to have Jose Ramirez put the team on his back again. He laced an RBI single. It's back to an even ball game. J-Ram is now making history. He's the 24th player ever with 250 plus home runs and stolen bases. He's the first third baseman to ever do that. He's off for third now, and he would have stolen it, but Angel Martinez ends it with the walk-off. I cannot believe my ears when I heard this stat. That is the 12th time since 2022, 12th time that the Twins have been walked off by the Guardians. I am sorry, Twins fans. Let's stay in Ohio because the Reds, they're coming off being swept in a doubleheader by the St. Louis Cardinals, and methinks they didn't like that not one bit because Jose Trevino, he is swinging that one bat from Jimmy Neutron that was like an automatic home run. He's batting .325 on the year. St. Louis did end up tying it after Donovan. He kind of scampered around, and Arenado flared it, and Ellie chucked it halfway up the first baseline. We had another rain delay because, again, this is Ohio, probably the wettest Midwestern state in the country, but of course, there's no roofs anywhere. Anyways, we're back. The Reds, they grabbed a pair of RBIs on a Gavin Lux fielder choice, and then the Cardinals almost had a disaster moment in the outfield. Jordan Walker and Barrero kind of collided a little bit. Espinal, he scores on the Trevino sac fly, so Trevino had 3 RBIs. Finally, the man who rakes is back to raking. Spencer Steer has 3 home runs. He's batting .295 with a .370 on base over his last 10 games, so he's getting better and better. 3 more singles off the bat of Noelvio Marte, Santiago Espinal, and Matt McLain. They pushed it to a near 10 spot, so the Reds, they get their payback after being embarrassed in that doubleheader. From the Reds to a very, very rich 26-year-old who's red hot. Actually, Vladdy, that highlight's going to come in a second. A few clips I got to show first. Varsho versus Pete Crow Armstrong. Who is the best defensive center fielder in the game right now? By the way, Varsho is also crushing baseballs, but again, more on that later. Bregman, he's crushing as well. He has 19 extra base hits and 26 RBIs in 32 games. He's still hitting a blistering .326 even after going 1 for 4 in this game. Barrios, he was nasty. 8 strikeouts over near 7 innings. His offense, they got to clutch up. Varsho, dang it had the distance, but that's foul. Houck is back to throwing frisbees, including that ball had some movement. Dalton stayed with it. He drove it to left field. He got it to leave. Back-to-back games with the home run for Dalton Varsho. That Tanner Houck sinker finally had some bite, and he showed it off for 6 strikeouts, only 1 run over 7 innings. He looked like 2023 first half Tanner Houck for once. Yeah, he left with the lead and about that lead. This is why you pay all-time great hitters all-time money. Vladdy went 405 feet on that pitch, a changeup at his kneecaps. He's got 3 home runs and 7 RBIs his last 6. The power is so back. By the way, the last 3 have come since we called them out, not to brag or anything, but I dictate Major League Baseball. Live with it. Obviously, I'm joking around, but Jimmy Garcia had a nasty 9th inning. He had 2 strikeouts before getting Rob Refsnyder to check his swing for the 3rd out. The Jays have won 5 of 7 against the Red Sox. They're 15-16. By the way, they're only 3 games back of first place, even though they're under 500. I'm going to need a perfect sound effect on this swing. Elliot Ramos, goodness gracious, a 430-foot leadoff perfect home run. He has a home run in back-to-back games. Brenton Doyle, an RBI on the road. Repent for your sins. Jesus is coming back. Okay, that's a little bit mean, but he almost never does that on the road. Wilmer, he stole the lead back. He's so close to 30 RBIs. He's at 29 now. Yaz. Wait, is this ball leaving? Nope, it doesn't leave, but it is another RBI extra base hit for Justin Verlander. Yaz missed his 6th home run by a foot, so it's 3-1 for, oh no, Ryan McMahon. It actually kind of made me sad to watch this home run. Listen, I know it was the 7th inning and it was like pitch 82, but remember old school vintage JV? He used to throw 100, 101 in the 8th and 9th inning. Great start nonetheless. He goes 6 2/3, 2 runs, just 1 walk, but now he's not even going to get a W because Jordan Beck doubled off of Tyler Rogers. Rogers did not have his usual good stuff, and there goes the lead now. Beck, he can fly. He's going to test Yaz, and he'll make it. Hunter Goodman, he gets the game-winning RBI single. Zach Agnos, the rookie, he gets his 2nd save. This kid hasn't struck out anyone, but he also hasn't allowed a single run. It's the first time this year that the Rockies have won 2 in a row. The Giants, they've lost 3 in a row. CJ Abrams is kickstarting this next game with a chopper past... Wait, hold on. Taiwan, he got there, and he flipped it for the out. See, pitchers are athletes too. The rookie for the Nationals, Brad Lowe, remember, he was the guy working at Home Depot in December. He was impressive. 4 scoreless before allowing an Alec Boehm RBI single, but he did get immediate help from his lineup. This is like a real-life stem shot from Call of Duty. Taiwan, he had his shutout ruined on a Nathaniel Lowe laser beam RBI, and you guys know I'm a Harper fanboy, so this sucks. Kyber, he scorched this one. It's not easy, but you have to turn that into an inning-ending double play for your pitcher. Instead, it's an unearned run, and so are these next few. Luis Garcia Jr., he barrels 1, 3 runs in the 6th. It's about to be 4. The Phillies handed it over on a silver platter. Cruz stole 2nd. The ball gets away, so Luis Garcia Jr. gets a free stolen base and run scored. Costi did drive in a 2nd run, but it didn't mean anything because Boehm ended the rally with a strikeout. Finnegan, he got 3 outs on 8 pitches in the 9th inning. He has 10 saves. The Nationals, they avoid the sweep. And there we have it, another recap in the books. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it until the end, do me just a few more favors. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and that's it. Enjoy the web gems.
Second, Hamilton to be tested. Sliding stop, gets up, gets him. Chapman from deep 3rd. Perfect.
Gonna make him earn his way aboard if he does.
The pitch swung on, hit high in the air, deep right center. Schneemann is back, Noel back. They combined.
0.59 ERA. Popped up. This may be Adames, and now
swinging a high hopper right side, charging in and reaching for it. Walker, oh my gosh, he got